Apple's MacBook Air is one of the best-selling laptops in the entire world. The success of the MacBook Air is not hidden from anyone. Last year, Apple released its M3 MacBook Air on March 4, and since we are approaching the anniversary of the MacBook Air M3, it is expected that Apple will release the new M4 MacBook Air sooner than expected. Apple shipped approximately 4.8 million Macs in the first quarter of 2024, marking a 14.6% increase from the previous quarter. And to no surprise, most of the sales were from the M3 MacBook Air due to its affordability and its position as an entry-level laptop to get into the Mac ecosystem. Recently, Apple hosted a small event on February 19, and everyone was expecting the release of the new M4 MacBook Air and the new AirTag 2, but it didn't happen, sadly. Seeing the success of Apple's M4 chip in the MacBook Pro lineup, the M4 MacBook Air is inevitable. The M4 was launched in May 2024 and has since found its way into the iPad Pro, MacBook Pro, iMac, and Mac Mini products. The MacBook Air is the last to get this upgrade. This is kind of Apple's strategy to create a difference between the MacBook Air and MacBook Pro. Since the launch of the M4 was in May last year, there is a high possibility that Apple will launch the M5 chip in the coming months. The bigger story here is that the MacBook Air will get the M4 chip, while the MacBook Pro will get the upgraded M5 chipsets. In this way, Apple will provide the latest and most powerful chipsets in its Pro lineup while keeping a year-old chipset in its MacBook Air laptops. So let's get on to the topic of the laptop's design. The MacBook Air will still feature the same design present in the MacBook Air M3. Internally, it will have the M4 chipset, of course, with up to 24 gigabytes of memory, up to 2 TB of SSD storage, and retain the 13-inch and 15-inch liquid retina displays. The MacBook Air M4 is expected to house the same base M4 chipset found in the MacBook Pro 14 M4 and iPad Pro 2024 version. This silicon includes a 10-core CPU, an integrated 10-core GPU, and a neural engine capable of 38 trillions of operations per second of AI performance. In benchmark tests, the MacBook Pro 14 M4 with 16 gigabytes of RAM achieved a Geekbench 6.3 multi-core score of 15,114, almost 50% higher than the premium laptop average of 10,492. However, since the MacBook Air has a fanless design, it is more prone to thermal throttling compared to the MacBook Pro. This means we can expect a slight drop in performance for both the 13-inch and 15-inch MacBook Air M4 models compared to the MacBook Pro 14 M4. But the normal user will hardly notice any difference. Battery-wise, the MacBook Pro 14 M4 lasted an impressive 18 hours and 32 minutes in testing. The MacBook Air typically falls a few hours short due to its smaller battery capacity. Still, we can expect battery life to hover around 16 hours for the M4 MacBook Air models. With months still remaining in the first quarter, there's plenty of time for new leaks to emerge, possibly revealing more details about pricing. Since Apple has upgraded the base MacBook Air to 16 gigabytes of RAM, there's a chance we might see a price hike. However, Apple could also maintain the current starting price as it did with the M2 and M3 models when they were introduced. So what do you think? Are you waiting for the M4 Air, or will you opt for the M3 or M2 versions instead? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now. Peace.